Hello everybody, it's Akira here, and welcome to another video. Hope you all having a fantastic day, and I hope I can make it a little bit better with a super fun video for you guys today, because I realized something recently over the last couple days, particularly yesterday when I started watching a show called Undead Unluck. You might have heard of it. I checked this show out. I'm about halfway through it, and I have been really enjoying it. And because I've been really enjoying it, because I am me, and I am obsessed with figures, I obviously immediately went online to see if there were any figures of the characters from Undead Unluck, and discovered these absolutely beautiful SH Figuarts Undead Unluck figures, which I of course 100% pre-ordered immediately, and I cannot wait to get these. They look awesome, and I love these characters. And upon doing that, something clicked in my head, something that I was just kind of like, holy shit, I just realized something. If you've been keeping up with SH Figuarts, Bandai Tamashii Nations, then you probably realized they've been really releasing like quite a few anime figures recently, and not just big stuff. Not just Jujutsu Kaisen or One Piece or Berserk or, you know, the really big shows. Dragon Ball Z, of course, rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. I am sorry. I'm sorry I never actually talked about that. I will firmly state I am not a Dragon Ball fan. I have not watched the series, and I never intend to. But the man was a godfather of manga and anime alike, so he made a big impact. He is one of the main reasons that I have this medium that I love so very much. So rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. I really am sorry I didn't post something about that. I really wish I had posted something when it happened, because yeah, it's definitely a blow. It's a big loss for that's a big loss for anime fans and manga fans. Like, even though I wasn't a Dragon Ball Z fan, there's so many mangakas that were inspired by Akira Toriyama, namely one of my favorites, Yuki Tabata, who created Black Clover, which is one of my favorite mangas of all time. Not mangas, one of my favorite series of all time. So yeah, rest in peace to Akira Toriyama. But yes, getting back to what I was saying before, yes, SH Figuarts, they make a lot of big stuff. They make Jujutsu Kaisen, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and all that. And that's usually what I would associate SH Figuarts with. But I've been noticing recently they have been releasing a bunch of kind of minor anime releases. You've got Sunraku from Shangri-La Frontier. We had Frieren Beyond Journey's End recently. We had, most recently, the Undead Unluck figures, of course. There was Mashiel, Magic and Muscle, which I actually picked that one up, and he is absolutely wonderful. And upon noticing this, upon seeing these Undead Unluck figures, I clicked something in my head. I was like, wait a second, SHF are the new Figma. This is what I used to love Figma for. You guys know I was a Figma fanboy for such a long time, and I would still be a Figma fanboy if they were still around. It seems like all they want to do now is make HoloLive characters and characters from like video games, and I'm just not interested in that stuff. It doesn't interest me, especially the HoloLive characters. That's just not for me, man. So I've really been missing my Figma fix recently, because the thing I loved about Figma, and I've even talked about this multiple times in my previous videos, is I loved that they would tackle other stuff. Sometimes they would do big stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen or Chainsaw Man, and then they did 90% of the time they knocked it out of the park. They had some stumbles here and there, like that Eris Mushoku Tensei Figma. That one wasn't too great, but for every Eris, there was a Denji who is just an absolutely immaculate figure. And yeah, they would do big stuff, and they're still doing big stuff. They're releasing some Hell's Paradise figures in just a bit here. But what I really loved Figma for was for when they would release releases that I was just not expecting whatsoever. For example, these Yudu Camp Figmas right here, these Kaguya-sama Figmas right here. It was so cool when Figma would announce a figure of a character that I never would have expected that to get an action figure, like Horus Recoil. There was Figmas for Chisato and Takina. Now that one doesn't really age well, because guess what? Like 3 other companies are also making action figures of Takina and Chisato. So goddamn, I guess there was more demand for like Horus Recoil action figures than I was expecting, but still, Figma would release these kind of outliers. We had Rimuru, of course, my all-time favorite action figure of all time, the Figma Rimuru. Such a brilliant, incredible Figma. You've got Naofumi from Shield Hero. There's so many Figmas. Ooh, Kaiji Ultimate Survivor, one of my all-time favorite animes. They made this. There goes your. Yeah, they made this. Like, I love Figma because they would make these really, really, like, obscure, unknown things that was not really getting any love whatsoever. It was so wonderful. And those days are kind of behind us. Now, they did just announce that they are making some figures from Delicious in Dungeon, which I'm not going to talk about that right now because I've only watched like 2 episodes of the show, and honestly, I'm not feeling it. So, but yes, they have, that's the only thing that they've announced, like, anime-wise. Aside from that, aside from, like, the Hell's Paradise Figmas and a few more outliers here and there, they've been nowhere to be found. So, those super obscure, like, fun little figures, like Kaguya, like the Yuru Camp ones, those have been nowhere to be found until I realized that SHF has been doing it. SHF is making Sun Raku. This is what I was really, really hoping for when I was watching Shangri-La Frontier, which I'm pretty behind on. I'm like 10 or 15 episodes behind on, I think, right now. But I'll get back to it eventually. It's not going anywhere. But when I was watching this show, when I was looking at this character, I was like, this would make such a cool action figure, and some of the other characters as well. And I was like, man, it'd be so cool if Figma would actually make this. But then I was like, there's no way they're going to. They haven't made anything. And then SHF made it, and it's like, okay, so is SHF trying to take over this new thing? And if they are, I am so 100% here for it. To be honest, while I do really like Figma, I have been buying a lot of SHF recently, and I have been seeing a massive, massive jump in quality for the SHF recently. Namely with the Jujutsu Kaisen ones, that, honestly, just like most of these, man, the Yuta, Todo. Yeah, the Todo and Yuta, I mean, he was like the first one. He was the sign of what was to come. And then most recently, these Tokyo Jujutsu high school figures of Geto and Gojo, who I have on the way right now, who I cannot wait for. These are just absolutely immaculate. I have had so much fun posing these figures around, just having an absolute blast with these things. Because I'll say it right off the bat, these are better. This figure right here, this Geto figure, that Yuta figure, that Todo figure, these are better than 90% of the figures I've messed with. These are so well made. They have such amazing quality plastics, such brilliant articulation, great accessories and everything. And I love them. I love everything about these figures, and I cannot wait to get my Gojo. I'm so freaking excited, but I just absolutely love these. Now, before I get too excited about all of these upcoming ones, I do want to take it a little bit of a step back and mention one more thing about this topic. Because there is a small part of me, a very small part of me, who is a little bit horrified about this. And the reason for that is because while SHF have made brilliant figures like this Geto, like that Todo, like that Yor that fell down earlier, they have also made this. This figure, the SH Figuarts Lloyd Forger, is a piece of dumpster fire garbage. I hate this figure. It's so bad that I don't even want this on my shelves. It is just in my storage area, in the box like this, screaming, let me out, because this figure is so fucking terrible. The quality is horrible. He can barely hold his accessories. His legs are floppy garbage. And every time I get excited for an SH Figuarts, this fucking figure creeps its way into my head. And they've got that is what I'm scared of. I am absolutely horrified because the first ones that are coming out that I'm really excited for are the Frieren Beyond Journey's End ones. And I am ecstatic for those figures. Now, to be honest, I might be a little bit more excited for those Undead Unluck ones now. But the Frieren Beyond Journey's End SH Figuarts are the first ones coming out that I am really looking forward to. And I swear to God, if I open up that Frieren SH Figuarts and her legs are floppy and she's falling apart and she feels like trash, my heart is going to sink. I am going to lose so much happiness in just like a split, tiny little second the second I pick that thing up. And I'm horrified for it. I honestly am. I really hope that SHF has learned the lesson. I have heard they did make another Lloyd, and I've heard it's much better than this, so I'm hoping and praying that they have learned their lesson, that this figure was a wake-up call, because this thing did not sell well, because it sucks ass, so nobody reviewed it, nobody gave it a positive review, and nobody bought it, which is a good thing, because it doesn't deserve money. It's a floppy piece of shit figure. This video is kind of all over the place, but whatever, hopefully it's fun. So yes, that is the only thing I'm a little bit worried about with this. Now, I'm really excited about about these. If SHF is the new Figma, if they are the ones who are going to be, who are taking this mantle of making these really obscure, fun characters from shows that you would not expect to get figures of, if this is actually happening, I will welcome it. I will welcome SHF as the new Figma, as my new, like, go-to action figures, because they're making stuff from stuff that I want to support more of. Like, obviously, I love JJK, I love JoJo, I'm human after all, and I've watched these shows, and I know how wonderful they are, and yes, I love them. But I also absolutely love, like I found with Undead Unluck or Shangri-La Frontier, these are perfect examples of shows that nobody's talking about, that are really, really wonderful, they're super good, and if people just watch them, they would realize that they love them, that there's so much great anime out there besides just the big ones that everybody talks about, that get all the anime awards because they're the ones that manage to break into the zeitgeist. It's really unfortunate, honestly. Like, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, one of the greatest animes I've ever watched, and nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. Now, we are getting a season 3 in just a month, which I literally cannot wait for, but nobody talks about this goddamn show. It's so nice that SHF is doing this. And if you're listening, by the way, give us some freaking the slime kit figures, SHF. Do it, man. When season 3 comes out, I was praying that Figma would make more slime figures for their Rimuru right there. But you guys come in, make a Rimuru, make a Demon Lord Rimuru, make a Malim, a Shion. I'll be buying every single one as long as y'all keep that quality up. But yeah, and on that note as well, along with that as well, please make Black Clover as well. As when this fucking anime comes back, please God, make Black Clover yet. No, I haven't jumped in to these mangas yet. I just picked up the next 4 volumes of Black Clover. So this is, I believe this is where the anime leaves off on, is this volume right here, 27. So yes, I'm going to read the manga. I am sick of waiting for an anime that is going to be just years and years away. So yeah. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about with this video. I wanted to talk about this really awesome, like, if this is the case, if SHF is going to be my new Figma, if they're going to be the ones delivering all of these really cool figures from these untalked about, unloved shows, then I am so happy about it, as long as they keep the quality up. Like, I'm holding right here an excellent SHF and an excellent Figma right here. And if these keep up if they keep up these qualities, if I get those Undead Unluck SHFs and those free run ones, and they're as great as this Yuta, well, maybe not as great, that might be a bit of a high bar, because this thing is pretty darn amazing. I'm just gonna be ecstatic, because in all honesty, I really do think SHF is better than Figma. I think they are built better. I think their articulation is better. I think their joints are engineered better. The only thing I would say Figma wins on is accessories. I think Figma includes more accessories, but that's not really a problem when they aren't, here. So there you have it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I know I just said accessories are great, but I think the Figma Yuta came with less than this SHF. I'm pretty sure this SHF came with more accessories than that new Figma one. So yeah, I think because this one also comes with the sheath and the sword that's like all crunched up so he can hold it in one hand, and I don't think the Figma came with that. I think he also comes with more faces as well. This was an outlier though. This was like the first SHF that I got that came with a ton of accessories. So this one is a bit of an outlier in that, but I did notice that, and I did want to bring that to attention. All right, guys, I think that is good. I just wanted to make this video because I thought about this and was like, that could be a fun video, and I really need to make more videos because I haven't made a video in a while. So hopefully this video was fun. I know it was kind of all over the place, a jumbled thing of a jumbled mess of everything, but hopefully you guys were in the mood for that. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe give me a like and subscribe for some more of me in the future. And with that being said, this is DA Guillotine signing out. I gotta pick up your. I'm also planning on picking up the red dress from this, because I've heard it's also awesome. And to be honest, I kind of like the red dress more than the Thorn Princess outfit. I don't know why, but I feel like it would just be a nicer looking figure on the shelf. I don't know why, but I'm planning on picking that up pretty soon. So there you have it, guys. Thanks for watching.